So what we've got so far is an ID going to be passed through to our blog page. Okay, so this ID is going to match one of these two. Okay, so it's going to be a number, and what I want to do is say if that number being passed through is equal to this ID, then return this dictionary, and if it's equal to this one, return that dictionary. Okay, that's the idea. So let's look at the actual code itself. If I can actually get to it. So I'm using the trackpad, so it's a little bit more tricky to get things where I want them to be. There we go. Brilliant. So here I've got my root, and as before, I'm passing through this blog ID. Okay, this blog ID I'm going to use in a comparison. So I'm going to loop over the list because it is just a list at the end of the day. It's a list of dictionaries. And then for each dictionary, I'm going to check its ID field and see if it's equal to this blog ID I passed through. So I'm going to be passing through a blog ID. So it's going to be 1 or 2 in this case. I'm going to cast that to an integer. So because this is also an integer. If we don't cast to an integer, this won't work. It won't compare because I'll be comparing a string to an integer, which will always be false. There is a way of making this into an integer as it's being passed through. However, I'm not going to show you how to do this at this stage. So once it's been passed through, it's then going to render the template, and I'm just going to pass the dictionary through as a variable, like I would do normally. If I go to my view blog page now, all I've done differently is I'm now accessing the title and the content out of the dictionary. Okay, so the blog dictionary name is here, that available name there, and the .content and .title come from here, content and title. So here I've got my blog.title, blog.content. I'm using the curly brackets in the same way I would use it for any variable that we passed through so far. So that's one of the reasons why I started off with that. And let's see if we actually test this in the browser. Okay, so here I've got my blog. I can click on one of them. It takes me to clickbait blog. If I click on the other one, you can see it's taking me to the other one. So now I've got a way of going to any of these two blogs. And if I want to create a new one, that's easily done by going back up to here, copying one of those blogs, call it blog 3 maybe. I can change the text in it, and I can then just simply add it to my list here. Also, there's no reason why this data couldn't come from a database instead, which is obviously how real blog websites would actually work. So that's it for this entire tutorial. So have a play at creating yourself a very, very simple blogging website, and you can add whatever you want to it.